All right, I think I'm live. Happy Wednesday, guys. This is a little pre-tip show at Justin Vickers' request. I thought about it. I'll try at least, unless I say I'm not, I'm going to try and come on and I'll sit here at 1 for at least 30 minutes every day, just run through my final slate, except the weekends. I can't be on show the weekends. But during the week, I'll run through my slate and then just answer questions as they pop up. If anybody has any, just whatever, I'll answer them as I go. One thing, get out of the way real quick. I'm old. I'm past being cool. I vape. We just got to get that out of the way. Whatever. If I'm going to sit here and do these, I got to be able to. Other than that, let me know if a different time works for anybody or is more preferable to people. Otherwise, I'm just going to dive in, get NBA out of the way really quick. The only thing that's really jumping off the board, the Mavs, minus 130 to minus 140 range. I think whatever, you take whatever. For the Knicks, injury report-wise, seems like there's going to be no Noel still, no Kemba, no Taj Gibson, or questionable with his wrist, questionable for Noel with conditioning. It sounds like a lot of their ability to just bang, make it a mucky game is exhausted with those guys out. And it just becomes the Mavs being too smart, too deep. And how are they going to, how in this matchup are they going to punish the Mavs? Guard play wise, none of them are way uber athletic. Let's throw Reggie Bullock at Barrett. My brain is mush. Let's throw Reggie Bullock at Barrett, old man him. We can just throw Finney Smith, Powell, whoever at Randall, who's not playing extremely well right now anyways. And then we're just going to have more possessions, smarter possessions. Jalen Brunson will always be underrated in the market. The only thing we're missing is Porzingis. We already had a game to work Luka back in. I like the Mavs. I don't know who's playing for the Pacers or not. If a bunch of stars come back or announce that they're playing, like LeVert, Brogdon, they have to work all those guards back in and the line gets a lot closer. I'd be looking at playing the Celtics, if it's a pick'em or something like that, but I need those guys to come back, so we have that angle. All right, moving on. College basketball. We'll just run through the slate top to bottom. Got a lot of questions about Villanova, Xavier. I don't know. It's really tough to step in the way of Villanova right now. They're playing so well. But wasn't Xavier up at halftime in that game at Villanova and just completely fell apart in the second half? This particular group now has more experience playing together against Villanova's system. And I think Xavier, I still think Xavier is an awesome team. This team, individually, the guard play, up front, everything. I mean, they're super talented, have every type of piece, super versatile, and they have the best player in the game. They have, by far, who's going to be the best NBA player in Paul Scruggs. I think he's awesome. He didn't have a good game in the last one out. I think he probably comes to play today. So gun to my head, Xavier, but I don't want to step in front of that Villanova train right now. Moving down, Furman down to -8. I think I'm probably going to nibble at, or better yet, look to live them. East Tennessee is coming off of playing 4 games in 8 days or something like that, something ridiculous like that. And now they got to go and try and run with Furman and their guard play. And I think a big angle on this one is that Furman, who was there before? Whatever, that left Bob Ritchie the team. Was it Nico Medved? And then he went to Drake, and then he went to Colorado State. I almost want to say that is it because they've had such a good coaching lineage. But before Bob Ritchie, this upper echelon of their conference, what is it? The Southern? Maybe? Yeah, SoCon. This upper echelon of East Tennessee. I don't know why my brain's not working. Maybe Chattanooga, but not really. But that upper tier, they've had problems beating for so long. And if they have an opportunity against a team that's already down a little bit this year in East Tennessee to just come out and kick the living shit out of them at home and have a senior like Alex Hunter get an awesome moment and stuff like that, I think they're probably going to jump on the opportunity to beat the shit out of them. So if you get an up to live them, I think -8 is still fine, especially it comes down to like 7.5 or something. But I think I have a little bit on them. LSU Florida getting a lot of questions about. And I think this game is so freaking tough. So Xavier Pinson's out. So that's part of the Florida line movement, just so everybody knows. I assume. And I doubt this closes at 3. I feel like we're going to get buyback onto LSU. It's interesting, right? Because they're going to be able to. It's going to be a lot on Colin Castleton, who had to work his ass off last game. I think he's awesome. Like, he's proving he's like a huge leader. He's awesome. He should be able to, right? That what's his name? The younger brother of Naz Reid, that's on like Alfred Reid or whatever his name is on LSU, is probably going to have a difficult time. Days is going to be too small. So you think Castleton, but like, do you really want to like bank on Castleton offense? Because otherwise, Florida's guards are just rough. I still maintain these Auburn guards have a lot of flaws, and the right matchup is really, really gonna. I mean, maybe test them because like I like the type of player they have, but whatever. Or expose. It's just so hard for them to generate offense. It's like, and if LSU can cause turnovers, stuff like that. I mean, the turnovers go one way or the other. But Brandon Murray's playing. I think he's more important than Xavier Pinson. Xavier Pinson is like I want to say a good team leader, but Brandon Murray's like a much better player, a much steadier hand, a winner. Gonna like I think they can get road wins with him. He was what was missing was like when we took them big against Auburn, he was announced as like a game time decision out right before the game. I think LSU has better guard play. They play really good defense. They have the recipe to win this game. Do you trust them to do it? I don't know. I don't really want to be all out on LSU because they lost the Auburn game. They were kind of gifted the Kentucky game, right? Like Kentucky wins that game a lot of times. I think I have to lean LSU. Just have to. Pass, unless anybody has any questions on them. Duquesne over Fordham. I think all the line value is sapped out of this thing. I have to lean Duquesne, though. Just their young guards, super young guards, Spears, and I forget the other one's name, but they're playing a lot better now. They're like hugging their coach on the sidelines after the UMass game. I thought that UMass matchup, I didn't think they'd be able to go on the road, beat whatever guard play UMass has, their ability to score. Duquesne got it done. Should have some pretty consistent inside offense with Trey Williams or whatever, and easily the TCU transfer. So I think with them trending up, they play better defense. Fordham has some really talented guards with Quisenberry and Antonio Day, that Florida international transfer, who's like really talented, but like a super kind of enigmatic character. So I got to go Duquesne. I agree with the line movement, but just there, I don't know about taking it. St. Joe's over Rhode Island. I'm sprinkling some money line at plus 360. The spread's at 9.5. I think the game like kind of goes one of two ways. Like, you know, either St. Joe's just hits nothing from deep and the game kind of snowballs against them. I don't know. I kind of feel like St. Joe's has to play kind of shitty in this game to even lose. I was impressed by Davidson. Even though they got blown out, I was on Davidson this game. I said if St. Joe's won, they were super real deal. I still kind of was impressed by that performance. They play pretty good 2-point defense, actually. Foster Lawyer was just on fire. Like, he's playing so well right now, just getting in front of that Davidson bus. Teams in that conference are just going to have a really tough time beating how well they're playing and how like efficient their offense is with that like Lee kid and I forget the four's name, but he's pretty good at like, especially like the bunnies in the lane. Davidson's really good at those. I don't think Rhode Island is as good. And I think St. Joseph's defense is going to force them into a lot of those like mid-range stuff. They have small-ish guards. It's just the Twin Towers for Rhode Island, right? And being able to hold up against them. Obinna, the Vanderbilt transfer, He's a big boy with a lot of experience. I think he's like a senior now. And that Coleman kid they have a 7-footer too on their bench. He's only a sophomore, but it's like we're not talking about limiting them to nothing. We're talking about limiting them, maybe creating some steals, just standing up, creating opportunities for our bigger guards. Like Hall's huge to get our hands on some things. I don't know. Like I think St. Joe's playing good interior defense. And then all the smallish guards for Rhode Island, they're all like max 6'3". They're all tiny guys. Who's going to guard Hall? You should get some offense there. Wall on one end, because you're probably not going to play Obin and Coleman at the same – well, you're going to have to play them at the same time for some of the game. But when Funk is in, we're going to be giving up some on that end. But Taylor Funk, let's make some threes, bro. I think this game is dependent on how many threes you make in this game, how many threes that Brown kid hit. We're going to have to hit some threes in this game. Funk, we can't have a 1 for 7 like against Davidson. We probably have to have a 4 for 7. But if you give us that 4 for 7, I think St. Joe's can walk in and get a win in Rhode Island. I guess the spread's probably good too. I don't know. I just think they can win this game. 360 seems a little absurd to me. Memphis, UCF, people are asking about. I'm not going to go trust Memphis to go get a road win here. DeAndre Williams' status is really, really important. Like him creating and like kicking it to shooters like Lomax and shit. I know he's questionable too, but I think DeAndre Williams creating is the best part about this team. If we're going to ask Tyler Harris to do all this stuff and hit like really high difficulty shots, don't really want to like bet on that on the road for them to continue. I mean, on one hand, right, if you watch the Cincinnati game, I actually watched at least like the last 7 minutes of that game. And Cincinnati was throwing the fucking kitchen sink at Memphis, like the legit kitchen sink, hitting just 3 after 3 after 3. And Memphis withstood every test, came back on the other end. And I think matchup wise, like a lot of what Memphis needs to do is get out and transition, get some free buckets with their athleticism. UCF going to try and create like a chaotic game. So that goes one of two ways. Either Memphis folds under all that pressure and stuff like that, or this is the type of win they can still win even with like, some goofy ass shit from Tyler Harris and stuff, although his like steady-ish hand should be good in transition. Like they should get a lot of free buckets on one hand. On the other hand, if they just melt down and are throwing it out of bounds all the time and turning it over all the time against a more experienced UCF team, are any of us going to be surprised? No. So I guess I lean Memphis. I mean, I like every road team tonight. I don't know. We're going to need some road warriors. I don't know. That's tough. I just don't want to trust Memphis. There's better things to offer, I think. All right, one road team I cannot get behind tonight is Duke. Tough. My squad, but I think Wake Forest +6 has to be the play. That's on my card. Just where are we getting trust in Duke and like how their offense runs to go be efficient enough against a Wake Forest team that's at least stout inside? Like it's not going to be Paolo Banchero playing volleyball on the boards. Not going to get those for easy buckets or like whatever Keels gets on those boards. I think that's going to be very limited against an older Wake team. Unless Jeremy Roach, I think he will by the end of the season, because I think he's got the alpha mentality, and with Keels on the team, who is his boy, he needs to be the alpha. Like he needs to be running the show. He needs to be initiating until the ball's in his hands all the time, and less in like Banchero, Moore, Keels' hands, at least to initiate initially. Because he can, at the college level, he can get to the rim. He can do what he needs to do. We just need to trust Jeremy Roach to do it. Yeah, he's a little flimsy, so X minutes a night, whatever. You guys do it the other time. We need Jeremy Roach to do that. Until that happens, I'm not taking them to go get even a road win, but I respect them enough. And I don't know what the deal is with the Williamson kid, the point guard for Wake Forest, because Duke does play good defense, right? We're going to come out. We're going to play hard defense. This is like a high-character team for Duke. I still think we can eventually win it. But unless we know where the point guard is, that kid, I don't know what happened to that kid on Wake Forest. Just a little too many turnovers with like LaRavia and Alondes Williams kind of running absolutely everything. But I still really like this Wake team. I think those two, Alondes Williams and Jake LaRavia, while less talented, have a little bit better idea of like what's needed and when than anybody on Duke, right? Like you've seen if you watch Wake games in tight games or when momentum's swinging, Alondes Williams will just drive it at the hoop. Like he's the kind of guy, Alondes Williams is the kind of guy where you're going to be like, what the fuck? But he's in the NBA, like a Georges Niang, where you're like, the athleticism be damned. The success will take them there. I just trust Wake Forest guys to do the right thing at the right time. So I'll take the +6. Temple and Tulsa is an interesting one. We were also talking about in the comments. I think it's a tough one. I understand if you're on Tulsa. I'd be scared laying the 3, definitely. I don't know. Tulsa is like, it's the same. This matchup is people don't believe that Temple's offense can win against the zone defense and the looks that Frank Haith is going to throw at them, especially on the road going like out there to Tulsa. People don't think that they can do it. They think Horn is like a plus matchup against now the younger guys, right? Forrest is out, I believe, still. So the younger guys although there's a bunch of wings for Temple, they're all younger. Horn's old as shit. He's going to get his. And then, I guess people really like Sam Griffin too. My problem with it is that I think Damian Dunn is real deal. I think he's got the biggest dick in this game. And I think he's starting to build momentum. I thought coming off of that UCF win, or what order they were in, but the UCF win, they came off the win at UCF, getting that done. They have a win at UCF, at Vanderbilt. I don't care if Vanderbilt, they suck. But a win at UCF and following it up with the tough win against an East Carolina team that's kind of rolling right now. I don't know about them, Cincinnati, whatever, both kind of rolling. How much is artificial from either team? But I thought that I was pretty impressed by that win for Temple to come as a young team, come back home, hold serve. Now you're going there. I think Damian Dunn and Jeremiah Williams are the 2 best guards in this game. I'll take them even with the experience Sam Griffin has. I like them. I think they're like around to bring Temple back to the tournament, to like restore glory under Aaron McKee. As for Horn, we have a bunch of wings to throw at him, right? So like early in the game, probably get his. We need to keep it close early. We got to score some early buckets. Damian Dunn, show who you are. I know who you are. Show everybody else who you are. If we keep it close slowly throughout the game, Aaron McKee is going to find the best matchup. He's going to throw different ones of those young wings on him, whether it's Telfort, whichever one of the young guys he's starting. He's going to throw them at him. One of them is going to do a good enough job, I think, to limit him. I'm more worried about like Ray Adowu and the bigger guys that are just going to like a little too much like man or something. That's what I'm more worried about. I just think the guard play. I don't think they're going to be able to score on Temple either. Watch Tulsa. They're going to have to capitalize on like young mistakes, stuff like that. I think people believe in Sam Griffin a lot more. I don't know. I'm all in on Temple. I'm all in on Temple. If you're not all in on Temple, I certainly understand if you take Tulsa here. This is me believing in Damian Dunn and wanting to take the best damn guard on the court by like a sizable amount for me. And he's bigger. I don't think any of them can, like, if he just wants to, and if he just wants to pull up from 3, getting a lot better at that. I'm taking Temple. I'm also going to sprinkle some Clemson over Notre Dame, catching 2.5 now. By the way, if anybody has a comment, I have no idea, whatever. Just keep rolling until something pops up. If it doesn't pop up, we'll figure it out because I'm doing it wrong. Clemson plus 2.5 over Notre Dame. I just think Clemson's a better team. Just flat out. I think they're a better basketball team matchup-wise, like in the front court, right? Hall's probably just a little bit quicker than Laszewski in terms of like movement, pulling him out, taking him to the rim, whatever. I just don't believe in Nate Laszewski at some point. At some point, I just have to I just got to sell stock in the kid and like Hub hitting everything now. I don't know. This matchup against some stouter guards, they're not going to be super punished. Clemson's not going to be super punished by the athleticism, right, of Notre Dame. So like Nick Honor, people like that, not going to get super punished. I think Collins can at least, he's a tough ass kid. I think he can at least put up a fight against Wesley, at least just rough him up, keep him from getting to some spots. And I don't know. I trust that batch of Clemson guards. Like, why are we giving Notre Dame all this respect? Why are they getting this money pouring in? Why? Because they beat UNC? Dude, UNC, I trust their guards as far as I can fucking collectively throw them. Like, as soon as I'm coming around on RJ Davis, He goes like 0 for 10 the next night, which like is fine because he still kicked the crap out of whoever. But long term, can't do that. If you want, we took Notre Dame in that game, but it's dependent on the fact it's like hinged on the fact that just UNC on the road, like it's really, really difficult to take them unless they're playing like the dregs of the league. Because they're just going to turn the ball over, do stupid things, just not go to optimal offense. They'll just do stuff like have Caleb Love just like fly in on the wing and like do some crazy shit, take some weird like fading pull-up jumper when you have like half the shot clock left and people embarrassed. I don't know. That's what that's dependent on. I just think Notre Dame, we're giving them too much. Now we have Wesley, who's like talking about going to the NBA now, one and dunning, which you're going to feature him. Are you going to over feature him? We're always going to have him driving. I think David Collins can use that to his advantage. I'll take Clemson. They play defense. They take care of the ball. High character individuals. It's what you need to win on the road. Prove me wrong, Notre Dame. You win this one, I'm all the way in. I liked following up the UNC win with a win over. It was like over Georgia Tech. There's like a chance Georgia Tech just absolutely sucks. So that doesn't mean a whole lot. Elon, UNC Wilmington, I just can't with Elon. They're down, whatever. We took them plus 425 against College of Charleston. They're down 2 with like 20 seconds left on the ball, and you don't get a fucking shot off. Just not doing it again. But in terms of the team, like they play defense, have a super good head coach. He's I forget his name, like Schrage or something like that, but he comes from the Duke. He was at Duke for a while. He was under Bob Knight for a while, like Coach K. He's a really good coach. He's going to turn the Elon program around sooner or later. If you look at their roster, he's just accumulated winners there. Like kids have won high school state championships, stuff like that. He's trying his best to turn the culture around. He's doing the right things. I just don't trust another guy. I don't trust as far as I can throw him is Hunter McIntosh. So I don't know. Just can't take Elon, but I'd lean that way. Evansville, Bradley. No. I don't really have any. I kind of feel like Tulane's going to start breaking down sooner or later. I would like lean Wichita State's way, but I don't want to take it. I mean, Wichita State's just been terrible shot selection all season, so can't really lay 8.5 with a team that's got absolutely terrible shot selection. The Southern Illinois line, I don't think is going to go back up. I'm against Missouri State. We leaned them last night. I think if you want to take it, just take the money line. Because if the athleticism edge for Missouri State, just absolutely, that's what you're taking, right? If you're taking Missouri State, is that like Gage Prim, like Domask, we love him, but him trying to guard Prim in the post, if that matchup happens, that's not the most fun thing in the world. Isaiah Mosley is kind of like as an NBA body, if he just says fuck you to whoever on Southern Illinois, he's dropped like 30 plus in his last few games. But that's one of my so two-sided coin. That's one of my problems with Missouri State is that we've just gone to I think Gage Prim is really good, especially in the MVC, like going to him in the post. If we're going to abandon a lot of that to just let Isaiah Mosley get 25 shots a game, that's like the Isaiah Mosley kid. I'm sure he's got his eyes on the NBA too. It's like him, Wesley, these kids that are like, oh, people are talking about me. I want to go to the NBA. And now their teams are just like, whatever, dude, let's get you there. I don't know. Is that what the teammates are thinking? I don't like that. That's a negative to me. You got to play team basketball. We're like halfway through the season. You don't even know what you're going to be, and you're just trying to like work on your draft stock or whatever. It's like do that by being a good team player. People will notice. I would look at, if I'm going to take it at this point, I guess Southern Illinois money line, because it's like Southern Illinois is the better basketball team. Like in terms of pure basketball, they're better at actual basketball. Domask is awesome. Lance Jones is a really good leader. He can lead you to a road W. If you looked in their non-con, I think they had a fairly impressive non-con, and I think a bunch of people got hurt, and now I think a bunch of people are coming back from those injuries. Definitely Southern Illinois or nothing. I don't think you can touch Missouri State. The only reason they lost to Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa stinks. They stink. Another one last night. Indiana State up 17 in the second half. A young Indiana State team up 17 second half as a plus 425 that we took. They ended up blowing it. But that was, just to be in that situation. And then if you're losing to that team, that's because you're playing hero ball. Isaiah Mosley, you need to share the basketball, be them or nothing. Utah State, Colorado State, definitely lean Colorado State's way, no different than last night. embarrassed by San Diego State at home, right? So it's like they're going to bounce back at home. Isaiah Stevens is a lot more athletic than anybody on Utah State. Roddy, like on Justin Bean, just drive it into his body. Maybe we can even get him in foul trouble. But do I like whatever? Ryan Odom, right? The UMBC guy that went there, took Idle Rock with him, whoever else. That guy's a fucking awesome coach. And if Colorado State, because they had like this isn't this little that beat down from San Diego State didn't come out of nowhere, right? They had the long COVID pause. Then they played, I don't know, some shit can, kicked the crap out of them, and then got their absolute ass handed them by, I get San Diego State is like not a great matchup because they're just so big, athletic, and like tough as shit. And like you're smaller, you need to rely on whatever. And then you're coming out of COVID pause, it snowballs, making that A-Rob kid look like me calling my friend being like, dude, is this kid going to make the NBA? And him having to talk me off a cliff. But I like Isaiah Stevens. I believe in Nico Medved. We were just talking about him before. He's a freaking awesome coach. Everywhere he goes, it's just like he's a program builder. He's an awesome guy. I like that team. I think that team like has to win something this year. So it's that side or nothing for me. I'm on St. John's. I don't know whether I leaned them or took them last night, but I'm taking St. John's plus 11.5. If you're feeling, or 11 now, I got 11. If you're taking if you're feeling spunky and you take the plus 500, hey, I get it. I don't get how UConn they skate a kind of fine line, because I love Poly, I love Whaley and stuff, but they like rely on those guys hitting a very high percentage from three. When they don't, they're like a team that's going to score in the 50s because they're led by, while I like RJ Cole, he's like a mid-major guard, right? So I don't know. They skate. I really like them. I really like Hurley, but they skate a really fine line. And against a St. John's team that, I don't know, is at least going to get out and run. They're much more athletic. Who's going to guard Champagne? And like coming off the COVID pause, I thought it was super impressive because they had very limited practice time. They're in New York, right? So they had super limited practice time. And then being able to come out, take care of DePaul. And then I think Providence is, if their chemistry issues are fine, then Providence is awesome. Because the individual pieces between like Bynum, Reeves, Watson, Croswell or whatever, they're awesome. So Horchler, they're just awesome. Just Marquette was the nut worst matchup, and they were going to lose sooner or later. So I don't know. I think St. John's is super underrated. Plus 11, I'm taking. If you want to look at plus 500, dude, I don't hate you, because if UConn, if Champagne, you should be driving it right at the bodies of Poly and them and getting them into foul trouble. Because if you get Poly into foul trouble, I think this game looks good for you. You jump out to a little lead. If they get hot, jump out to a little lead. Just use the athleticism at guard. I don't know. St. John seems live. Super interesting one. Nice. We only got a couple more. Super interesting one. I'm taking Maryland. I'll lose more money on Maryland. I think they've got to be close to pushing this Boulder over the hill. Like, it's right there. And on the other side is pushing Danny Manning, trying to push all the players back down the hill. He is so bad. But I think the players just overcome it. I love Eric Ayala. I always have. I think he's able to get it done here. I think they're going to win outright. They forced me to. With this line movement, I was only going to, like, sprinkle the money line. If you're going to give me plus 2, I just grabbed plus 210 on Maryland. I mean, if you're going to do that, then I have to take it. It's like Miami yesterday. It didn't work out. But you're giving me plus 240 on Miami over Florida State. You saw how the game went. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Malik Osborne, though, I got to say. Malik Osborne's going to be in the NBA. He's going to be in the NBA. On the bench somewhere, doing a very, very good job, unheralded, but his teammates will love him. How the fuck can you trust Northwestern? Who's betting this up this far? Northwestern lost me in the Michigan State game because we think Michigan State's overrated. We think Michigan State, these young guards have to prove to me. That was an awesome spot for Northwestern. The game's going as it kind of needs to go. And then the guards just start going fucking crazy. It was like they all met and just started just doing a bunch of intravenous drugs on the sideline, and then just went back in the game and we're like, woo! Like Chase Audige, dude, it does wild man ball. He plays like he's Kobe, but he's not Kobe. So like he's just taking like the like off a curl 20-foot jump shots that like 1 out of every 10 banks in, and it's like acceptable somehow to Collinsworth. I don't know. With him and Bowie, I don't trust him as far as I can throw him with this big of a line. Yeah, there's going to be some inside advantage for a Northwestern or whatever from the craftiness of Nance Barron, whatever. But I think Donta Scott is on a mission. That guy looks so determined to get a win. They all do. Like, you could see how broken they were after not getting it done against Wisconsin. You had the 3-point lead late, just couldn't push it over. Wisconsin's really good. Like, Wisconsin is really good. For as deficient as they are inside, they are a very, very good basketball team. If you have Johnny Davis and Brad Davidson as a fucking closer to go up against, that sucks for you. Looking ahead to tomorrow, just take Wisconsin. Or wait for more Ohio State money to roll in. It probably will. And then we're taking Wisconsin. I mean, there's just no fucking way that Ohio State team, unless EJ Liddell wants to come out and just hit like 6 for 6 threes to start again, there's no fucking way that they're going to beat Wisconsin. It's just not happening. Maryland, though, I don't like having 2 units on Fats Russell. Not the most ideal thing in the world. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. We honestly just need to have Hakeem Hart closing it or Ayala, but we can't have you Fats Russell or like an open 3 to Donta Scott. You just create, but I can't have you taking, dude, you can't make a layup when it counts. I'm sorry. Can't really have free throws when it counts. I just can't have you doing anything but distributing it. I'm sorry, brother. But just you distribute shit. Let's get Hakeem Hart going early. Ayala will do his part. Donta Scott's going to have a good game. Hopefully, you get Wahab a little more involved, Danny Manning, and you win this game. You win this basketball game. Hopefully, Maryland pushes themselves over the hump. But just out of pure value, 5.5 and plus 210 is fucking stupid. It doesn't make any sense. We cannot keep pouring Northwestern money into the market. It's wrong. Not with these guards. Not with these guards leading them. Because they need to, honestly, you need to sacrifice it and just play, I forget the kid's name, the one white kid at guard, whoever he is. You just need to play him more because it's at least steadier. Greer, you just have to play him more. Georgia Tech or nothing for me. I just can't lay any points with Boston College ever against an ACC team. But DeVoe is the best player in the game. But, is Georgia Tech just completely broken? They suck. TCU, Kansas State, like really no opinion, but a lot of love for Kansas State in the market. I assume that's due to Miles being to Mike Miles hurting his wrist last time out. Wait, I got a question. No shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you. For American basketball players, where better to play basketball in the G League or the Euro League, which is considered the second best league in the world of basketball? Damn, dude. Good question. I mean, I think you probably get – I don't know, but it depends because if you want a 2-way contract, you got to play in the G League. So probably the top-tier players are probably better in the G League because a lot of them just get called up on 2-way contracts. And then, you're ineligible for some NBA games. But you can get a lot of run, especially now because, like, right now it's got to be the G League because with all the COVID stuff – you're just going to have so many opportunities to play and like actually get real playing time. Like people like Hassani Gravett who didn't even get much playing time at South Carolina when he was there is getting a lot of playing time and a lot of run. Like he was a starting point guard one game. Kevin Pangos is starting in NBA games right now. So you want to be in the G League right now. But in the past, I don't know, like if you're a young player, like a huge advantage, especially in college, a thing to look for is when people that play in Europe, like coming to mind is like a Davide Moretti for Texas Tech when they like underrated went on their run to the championship game. So much headier because they're playing in the Euro League as like a kid, so like that's a massive advantage. So I don't know. Right now though, I don't know because maybe all those players are getting sucked up to the G League, so now the G League whatever. But I think probably the G League in general. You would assume. I don't know. It's got to be tough. I honestly don't know. Good question, though. All right. Let's finish this up. Missouri, Arkansas. Arkansas are nothing for me. I lean that way just because I thought it was really impressive. Like, I like Texas A&M a lot, and I thought that comeback was really – we were on Texas A&M for like a pancake. I was really impressed by Arkansas's ability to come back. They were sucking shit, like just how they gave away that Vandy game, and then the first half of that Texas A&M game, while Texas A&M is good. I don't know, this collection of players, right? Like trusting them is really difficult. JD Notae, Chris Likes, all people that just like lost at their prior destinations and now have all come here to like kind of lose together. They don't have like Moody leading them like last year. It's just like a fuck you winner. Like we're winning this. Jalen Tate, one of the best winners that Jalen Tate was the story of that team last year, not anybody else. So I think just what's his name? Musselman just kind of struck out on this batch. But in saying that, Devo Davis got himself rolling last game again. And Devo Davis is going to just, if he wants to just absolutely do work and they just get out running, and it's just a problem. Jalen Williams kind of, I saw he messed up. He at least twisted his ankle and was out for a bit last game. Let's see how that holds up. But I would lean Arkansas. Especially after Mizzou beat Alabama, right? That was pretty big for them. Now letdown spot. Not touching NC State, Louisville. Somebody asked about that. The NC State guards are big. Like Seaborn, them, how are Noah Locke and Jared West going to how are they going to guard those guys? But in saying that, I kind of still think Louisville wins just based on the fact I think NC State probably covers. Yeah, I'd lean the plus 6.5 or whatever it is now. Just based on that. But the thing for NC State that I got a problem with is what the fuck are Cam Hayes and Casey Morsell doing? Like Casey Morsell transferred from UVA. Look at the batch of guards that's there right now. Like, well, we'll get to them in a sec. But like you transferred there to play like fucking 12 minutes for Kevin Keatts. Like I understand you thought you were going to go do the CJ Bryce thing, but what are we doing? Why are you on the bench? We have to play the freshman. And like, I like that freshman. I forget his name, Terrence, whatever, Terquavian Smith. I want to say he's got super high upside, but the amount of mistakes that they make, like between them and then I've never been a big Jericho Helms guy. So like the amount of mistakes you make by not having like Cam Hayes play more and all these other things, I think like Cam Hayes shouldn't be coming off the damn court, dude. What's he doing coming off the court? Why isn't Casey Morsell is like, he's like one of the Morsell brothers. Those guys are like super sound winning guys that you want to have on the court. I just don't understand. You're not playing the optimal lineup. I know that. Kevin Keatts, you're not doing it. I just know that. And for that reason, against a Louisville team that while I'm never going to be all in on these guards, this team's trending up. I watched some interview on like the Field of 68, which I think is actually cool. They interview a lot of players, which is how I get good reads. But they interview them like after wins during the season, but you can kind of get a feel for like how much they like their teammates, etc. And I think Louisville's trending up. European basketball fans are crazy, throwing smoke torches, cursing shit really loud. Some NBA fans are calm. It used to be a lot more fun. You ever seen clips of the Malice in the Palace? You ever seen that? Ron Artest wasn't very calm. Or Meta World Peace wasn't very calm. That's friggin'. It used to be a lot more fun. People used to get in fights all the time in the 90s in the NBA. Like what I grew up on with like Shaq used to get in people's shit all the time. Like people used to like, I don't know, that shit's just gone. But people used to do it. There used to be a lot of punches thrown in NBA games all the time. It was good shit. I used to love it. There was like, it used to be physical, good defense, not these like fouls all the time, respected stars less. It was awesome. Grew up on an awesome NBA. Like I remember watching Reggie Miller 8 points in whatever seconds live. Okay, Virginia Tech, Virginia. This is tough because I do respect, like, I guess maybe Casey Morsell transfer because he didn't think he'd get enough playing time behind the likes of Beekman and Kihei Clark, who are just like doing it because they're winners. Like that's why they're in there. They're just like I really like Reese Beekman, but again, they're super limited. Are we gonna punish the Virginia Techs like with athleticism at the guard spot? Like, are we gonna punish Hunter Couture, Storm Murphy, and these guys? Do I really trust Storm Murphy to initiate offense with like Kihei Clark like way up in his shit? Like, while it's not going to be all wrapped around him, like, do I necessarily trust him to like with him up in his shit? I don't know because right, Virginia Tech does what you need to be to pack line defense. They shoot threes. So I lean Virginia Tech's way. Virginia has shown like they're not great, but they have to be trending up. I mean, they have like one of the best coaches in the country. They're going to continue to get better. It's just the way it is. I just like can't imagine a world where UVA sucks under Tony Bennett. So that's keeping me off, but I lean Virginia Tech for sure. Cal, I'm playing. All right, we're almost done, like 4 more. Cal, I'm playing. I really like Shepherd. I think he's brought like a super steady hand to that lineup. I think like Antevich and Kelly or whatever the bigs, they're pretty good. I just think Shepherd has like that team seems like a real basketball team. Like when I watch them, I watch the USC game and part of the UCLA game. Dude, they play good defense. They play hard against a Washington team that I think people are giving a lot of respect to because of the talent in the one game against Utah, where they haven't looked like a bunch of shit turning it over. Like that's the only game where they've looked like a semi-competent team, and it was really just like a stretch there at the end. That ain't enough for me. Dejon Davis or whatever, you've kind of been like a crazy dude for your whole college career. Kind of expect more of the same. I'm not a huge Emmett Matthews guy, so for whatever, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if you're going to Emmett Matthews going to be able to grab boards and shit like that. I guess you got to pull them out, and if Washington continues to shoot really hot, I don't know. I like Cal. Lean Pacific just because Santa Clara missing, I assume so. I think Badeko might be back. Might be. I would just check injury reports. I like Santa Clara when it's all together, but they've been missing like either Vrancic, Badeko, or PJ Pipes now for a while. PJ Pipes, like main guard, whoever it is. I think this experience that Carlos Stewart is getting, the freshman, will be invaluable down the road, but he's not ready to like be trusted on the road to lead a team, as a point guard to a road win, and to cover 6 at that. So if PJ Pipes is still out, I think I have to lean Pacific either way. If Badeko is also out, I definitely lean Pacific. And then last thing, I'm thinking about taking a piece in Nevada, but I just keep underestimating Boise State. Just time and time again, I underestimate Boise State. And just because, I don't know, they're just like tough, gritty, grind, get it done. Like Armis, Acott, all those kids have been through a ton. I think they just really want to win. It's tough for me because I think they are like especially the mentally tougher team than Nevada. They play good defense. They're big. That's kind of a recipe to win on the road. Like Dutrieve isn't on the team anymore. I think he probably had a little bad blood. I mean, you look at this team, they have a bunch of really good wins against like Fresno State, some other teams like that. But Grant Sherfield's best player on the court. Not going to go against him at home. Makes me want to take him. I just can't. I don't know. I think Nevada's a decent team. They're just playing really shitty to start the season. But I think they're a pretty good team. So I lean Nevada. All right. No questions. So I've been on here for 42 minutes. I have done my piece. And I think I got through everything. So this is last call. Any questions if I ever hold your peace? Otherwise, I will be back, I guess, at 1 tomorrow. I'll try and do an overnight thing, but I'll definitely be back at 1 tomorrow. Have a good, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Thanks for chiming in. I wish I could pronounce what, like this guy. Thanks for chiming in. I don't know how to pronounce your name, my brother. If you do like whatever, like I know a teeny bit of Chinese because I'm half Chinese, and like the pinyin equivalent. That's like from the characters to the pinyin equivalent. And I know your name. That would be cool. Eventually I'm going to figure out how to just send the invite, put the invite in here so people can just hop in and ask questions, because it's cooler to see people's faces and put a face to the name. But thanks for chiming in, brother. Maybe I got to figure out how to watch some Euro basketball. Other than that, I will see you guys. Have a good one.